People love their Subaru Crosstreks. What could be better? A Subaru Crosstrek Hybrid. The crowd goes wild. Hey, I won't waste your time, but subscribe to the channel, okay? You'll like this. Hybrid powertrains seem to be taking America by storm, and if you live in a part of the country where it storms often, this and this are the best duo since hiking boots and Gore-Tex jackets. Subaru's Forester can be had with a hybrid powertrain. Now it's Crosstrek's time to shine in inclement weather. It brings efficiency to the masses since this model is, historically, among Subaru's most affordable vehicles. A couple things when it comes to pricing. Crosstrek Hybrid is not available in base trim. The most affordable version is Sport, which starts at $35,400. At least that includes destination. That's some $3,300 more than the ICE Crosstrek Sport. I'm driving a top trim, fully loaded Limited with optional Sand Dune metallic paint. MSRP on this one, $38,400. That's around $2,000 more than the gas version. Limited is the only way to get much better 10-speaker Harman Kardon sound and upmarket seat materials, plus it opens the pathway to surround view cameras. Pro tip, the sunroof is standard on Sport, oddly part of the $1,600 package on Limited. Crosstrek is some $5,000 less than a comparable Forester hybrid, and as long as I'm comparing, the Subaru costs about $1,000 more than its main competition, the Toyota Corolla Cross, $1,600 over the front-drive Kia Niro hybrid. This is a Subaru, so motivation starts with a 2.5-liter Boxer 4-cylinder that sits lower in the bay and famously uses pistons that fire this way, not vertically like most internal combustion engines. This is a series parallel hybrid with 2 electric motor generators. On startup, it generally makes little commotion. Total output is 194 horsepower to the gas-only's 180. The electric traction motor alone offers 199 pound-feet of torque to the ICE's 178. There is some Toyota hybrid tech, but know that Corolla Cross uses an electric motor to drive its back wheels. Subaru keeps its symmetrical all-wheel drive, running a shaft to the rear. X Mode tailors the all-wheel drive system to conditions. SI Drive adjusts throttle response and steering weight. Subaru's continuously variable transmission gets a familiar lever and simulated cog swaps that mimic a 6-speed transmission in the hybrid's case. Information can be called up to help when tackling tougher terrain. I'll point out that if you do your own oil changes, it's really easy to access the filter on Subarus. Nice. The hybrid might be a little bit more powerful, but the 0 to 60 benchmark, pretty much the same as the gas-only Crosstrek, a tick over 8 seconds. But here's the thing, this has electric motors, right? And they have instant torque off the line, so this feels quicker. In stop-and-go city slogging, I prefer the hybrid's driving dynamic. Overall, it feels a smidge smoother than the gas-only Crosstrek. Subaru does continuously variable transmissions pretty well, with less rubber bandiness than other automakers. Without driving them back-to-back, the hybrid seems to have even less of that elastic characteristic. Dynamics-wise, this is a good hybrid system. Not as seamless as Toyota's, where the engine feathers in. This one, you definitely sense it's kicking on. Also, the brakes, a little bit on the spongy side. At least the pedal travel is progressive. Engine shutdown is fairly smooth on startup. It is felt and heard. The Boxer 4-cylinder has a gruffer note to it, not out of place for Subaru's rugged image. This is a comfortable car. It soaks up bumps nicely and moderately quiet, not overly hushed. Also, handles well because, you know, it's a Subaru with the engine low in the bay. It corners well for a compact sport ute, especially considering the impressive 8.7 inches of ground clearance. Forest service roads and stormy conditions shouldn't slow it down. Crosstrek has great visibility. The A-pillars are nice and thin, there are no blind spots, there's blind spot warning. It does have an attention monitor, and it's really aggressive. I'm kind of surprised it hasn't gone off while I've been talking to you. Subaru's suite of ADAS safety tech is a 3-camera system called EyeSight. It seems slightly more finicky than the radar-based kind. I've had occasional instances in extreme weather where its operation is diminished. Still, the adaptive cruise and automatic emergency braking it provides is good to have. The standard gas-only Crosstrek is EPA rated at an average of 29 miles per gallon. This is definitely better, 36, but not as good as Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid at 42 and Kia Niro, the Champ, at 49. But it's not available with all-wheel drive. Maybe you don't need all-wheel drive. Typical owners won't make their money back, considering the 5-year fuel savings is $1,500 compared to the gas-only Crosstrek, but I like the overall dynamic of the hybrid system. Both powertrains are rated to tow 1,500 pounds, though Wilderness ups that to 3,500. Seeking shelter from conditions, you'll find standard-issue Subaru materials. Durable gray plastics, a pop of orange stitching, no colorway choice. Limited gets StarTech's faux leather upholstery, Sport runs with cloth-covered seats. Scratchable shiny black plastic is kept to a minimum. There are some interesting textures, but it's pretty much business in here, and no one will believe this is real carbon fiber. Laugh if you want, but Subaru makes some of the best sun visors in the biz. The usual amount of storage cubbies are scattered about. Nothing overly creative. Oh, and this inherits Toyota's EV mode to run short distances at low speed with just electric power if the battery is charged, and I find that it seldom is. Subaru has a new generation user interface, but Crosstrek doesn't get it. The 11.6-inch screen is clear and bright, but in some cases, touch response can be sluggish. There are a handful of hard controls, that helps. Wireless phone charging is a thing, so is wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. The heated seats have good bolstering. The driver gets power adjustment. Passengers will be doing it old school. I'm 5'9" and I have enough space back here. If you need more room, there's always Forester Hybrid, but headroom, got that much. Knee, leg, and foot room, certainly adequate. My inseam is 32 inches. The cushions are comfortable, long enough for good thigh support. Also, the doors open up really wide, so it's easy to get in and out. This is a nice step if you're loading stuff on the roof rack, even though Crosstrek really isn't all that high. Storage in the doors, of course. This is actually deep enough so you can stash things here. A pocket on the passenger seat back, yes. On the driver's seat back, no. No adjustable air vents, but at least power to charge phones. Remember, there is a drive shaft that runs to the back, so it's going to take a little bit of room out of this space. Bottles of water will fit in the door pockets, but hot cups of coffee, you're going to need to use this. Considering Crosstrek's size, this back seat is pretty usable, and the hybrid powertrain doesn't really take up any additional space. 3 thinner adults will be okay back here. Obviously, 2 will be more comfortable. Why use toilet paper to measure the trunk? It is a standardized measurement metric, and that's always good. It's about the size of a carry-on suitcase. And it's inherently funny, right? We all need a little bit of humor in our lives these days. Oh, look, the security shade tucks under the floor. The hybrid's battery is located back here, so there's no spare tire, only a repair kit. And if you're looking for the pump, there you go. Bag hooks, those are nice to have. Crosstrek isn't a large vehicle, so it's easy to reach in and drop the seats. In max cargo mode, there's 50.6 cubic feet, which is about 4 cubes less than the standard Crosstrek, if that's the difference between bringing the small tent or the McMansion-sized shelter. Seats up, it's not as much of an issue. The hybrid is down just over a cubic foot at 18.6, so it really shouldn't be any surprise that the two essentially score the same, a half dozen packs. For what it's worth, Forester holds 9. Sometimes the option of going hybrid is a clear choice, especially if the system delivers significantly more power and/or fuel efficiency. In Crosstrek's case, the biggest advantage is a more appealing drivetrain dynamic and a warm, fuzzy eco feeling that comes from using less gas. This is a good, solid vehicle. It's practical, it's got Subaru's symmetrical all-wheel drive, it's relatively affordable, and gets better fuel economy than the regular Crosstrek. However, not as good as some of the competition, and the hybrid system isn't as smooth as the benchmark Toyota. Of course. Let's not forget that Toyota also offers Prius with all-wheel drive, though its hatch design isn't as practical and the undercarriage might scrape on the way to the good hiking trails. Subaru's owners are rabidly dedicated. Those loyalists and their dogs won't venture far from the brand. Crosstrek Hybrid will be the go-to vehicle for them to efficiently weather the storm. I'll mention that if you want this Sand Dune Pearl paint or Citron Yellow Pearl, which is more of a lime green to my eye, you have to buy the hybrid and fork out an extra $395. It's the best way to be a Crosstrek hybrid spotter. Hey, we all have our thing. Driving duties today, courtesy of Mr. Rob Calero, so I can shoot the running footage. Your opinion of the Crosstrek Hybrid?
It is a Subaru. It is what I expect from a Subaru. It's wonderful in its simplicity. It's what I expect from a comfortable
Subaru.
Subaru.
It's a Subaru.
It's a Subaru.
Yeah, and people love Subarus.
They do.
Before I go, my annual fall public service announcement. As a former news photographer, I cannot tell you how many car crashes I covered because of wet leaves. They're very slick, almost as slippery as ice. So if you see them, please be careful, okay? Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe to the channel, click notifications, follow me on social media. I'm on all the major platforms. And if you have a question, leave it in the comments. I'm very good about getting back to people, okay? All right. That's Driven. I'm Tom Voelk.